Yeah, it's a high resolution data set, that benchmark that we built, because in remote sensing we typically don't have high resolution. So this is an area image which we have a ground sample distance of 2.5, that 0.2.5 that, and to 0.5 meter. So that's the resolution that we are dealing with. But this benchmark is only 500 image. Though in maybe CV community, it may be a small benchmark, but in remote sensing, it's really a good benchmark for us because it's difficult to segment. And our aim is to cover basically the global. So in terms of the images, we cover across all 6 continents. And these are samples of some of the images that we labeled. Because of time, I'm not really going into details much of most of the things here because we are far behind the time. So like model, this here, we are just comparing that a model that was trained on our benchmark with other benchmark in remote sensing. And if you look at it carefully here, these images were not really in our benchmark. They are really images that we just picked from. And this image is really a natural image in US, that's agriculture image. So you just pick it and we tried it on different benchmark in remote sensing. And you can see that our benchmark, that's a model trained on our benchmark, really performed well. It was able to do something better compared to other benchmark in this field. And this, we are talking about a model that's trained on our benchmark can really generalize to a global perspective. So this image is not really in our benchmark. This is an image from Africa, Tanzania. And you can see that because our benchmark was really labeled in terms of detail, a model trained on it can generalize to most satellite image that you can come across. And this one too is an image that we take it from Ecuador. It's also not in our benchmark, that's in the data set. And you can see that a model trained on our benchmark can also generalize that. So this challenge, we extend the 8 class labels in the original benchmark and make it as a feature challenge because we want other CV community guys to come to remote sensing and also develop algorithms for this purpose. Because like when there is in terms of urban planning, we need this kind of high resolution data and high resolution mapping to help for urban. And also when there is a disaster response and we want to quickly, like the earthquake that happened in, let's say, Turkey, if at that point we just want something to get to know where the damage has caused and maybe to get disaster response, we need such a data. So in that sense, we don't really have a lot of data at that time. So we need kind of feature learning to help in this regard. So the challenge in this, for this challenge, we just sample only 408 from the original OpenAir benchmark. And we just sample only 400 of them to build this challenge. And we extended the 8 class in the original benchmark to 15 classes. And for the support set for the challenge, it was only 20 samples that we were with the 20 samples. And because it's a generalized feature challenge, the base is what is in the training sample, and the novel class is what is in the test and the validation sample. And for the challenge, we have the development phase and the evaluation phase. For the developing phase, we give the training samples to the participants, and we have give them the validation set. And at that point, we didn't give the test, that's the labels for the validation set. So they only have the training set and the images of the validation set. And for the evaluation stage, the same setup that we gave. But for a participant to get into the evaluation stage, they have to submit a paper on their idea because the challenge wasn't based only on the performance of your idea or the leaderboard. We need to submit a paper to demonstrate that at least your idea is something novel, feasible in that sense. And for the evaluation, we didn't do like commonly, it's only averaging the base classes and the novel classes. But we thought that in practice, that may not be fair because we don't want. So we decided to go by weighted sum and we base it on 40, 60. It's kind of arbitrary, but we look at papers in this field to see the results in this field, and we try to leverage on that to come out with this calculation. It may not be fair, but that's what we were able to come out. So the challenge began in February and paper submission. And from there, we have the second phase. And after the challenge end in April. So for the first one, we had that's 108 participants across most of we have people from some participants from Europe, some from US, some from China, that's Asia, and other from, but unfortunately, nobody from Africa. I'm from Africa, right? So that's it. So the evaluation stage, because only 14 participants submitted a paper, so they were allowed to move to the evaluation stage. So that's why the evaluation stage, we have only 14. So I will just go straight to the third winner of the challenge. That's the group. I will just mention the group name. That's Team Tantan. They are the first winner for the challenge. And their paper, maybe their paper can be read because they will present, so I don't have to go into details of their paper. And the second winner is the Team Health Insight. That's the second winner, also from China, affiliate in China. And the first winner is Tina Shilly. Yeah, they will present as well. And we also have selected accepted papers. That's 2 accepted papers, one from Team Steven and Team IDC FSS. Okay, so these are the 3 winners and 2 accepted papers. So I will now leave it for the winners and accepted paper to present their paper. Thank you.